Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of To The Max Outdoors. Today's video we're going to be grilling up some deer tenderloin. As you can see here in this container, I've got one package of deer tenderloin. Again, I've said in the past, when we process our meat and whatever, we vacuum seal it in a pack, what we would eat as a family of three here. So again, these are all about 1/4 inch thick. This is just a single tenderloin sliced down. They're not butterflied, they're just sliced into little pieces. Simple little marinade before we go on the grill. We got some Worcestershire sauce, olive oil, garlic powder, salt and pepper. Pretty simple, pretty easy. I'll let this go for a half hour to an hour, however long I can take it. But there's no real rule of thumb on the amount of anything. Just do it all to your taste. We like Worcestershire sauce, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this in here until I at least cover all the meat to begin with. And what I like to do, I even do it with beef, is I'll take a fork, try not to splash it everywhere like I did, but I'll take a fork, making a mess here, and I'll poke the little steak pieces of the meat. Just in my mind, it gives the marinade somewhere to go down into the meat. But pretty simple. It is tenderloin, so it's already pretty tender. But any cut of meat that I marinate, beef or pork or anything like that, I always take my fork and poke down through it. I know they make those fancy marinade blocks where you can push a bunch of knives down into the meat. I just take a fork and do it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just forking every piece, then I'll flip it over and fork the other side of it. Pretty simple. And kind of with the Worcestershire sauce here as an ingredient, I like to put enough into there where I'm almost covering. As you can see here in this is just a single layer. This container here allows me to put that whole pack as a single layer. There's nothing really on top of anything, so I know that Worcestershire sauce is doing its thing, and that's the main part of this marinade in my mind. The Worcestershire sauce is what gives it kind of some of that flavor. I know some people do like it, some people don't. We happen to really like it. We use it on a lot of stuff for a marinade, and that's what we're going to use. But getting back to what I was saying is just fork every piece of meat, flip it over, fork the other side of it. Try not to make a mess like I did here. Pretty simple, pretty easy. This is something that's pretty quick and easy. Like I said, we're going to eat dinner here in probably an hour and a half, 2 hours. But just 10-minute little marinade here, 10 minutes to make this little marinade and let it go for a half hour to an hour. It's pretty simple. All right, I'm happy that everything is got some holes poked in it. We're good there. I'll clean up a little mess. And what I do here with this olive oil is I'm just going lightly, I'm just trying to, I don't get it coming out there. I'm just lightly covering everything. You don't need a whole bunch of that olive oil. You're just kind of wanting a little bit of that taste out of it. Again, just take it and flip all my pieces of meat over and try to get that olive oil covering every piece of meat. Pretty simple. Get everything covered here. There we go. I'm happy with that. Now garlic. Some people really like garlic. Some people don't like much garlic at all. We prefer garlic. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this garlic and I'm going to cover pretty good coverage on every piece of meat that's down in there. There you go. You can see that everything's covered. I'm going to take my fork or my fingers, whatever. I'm going to flip every piece of meat over. There again, if you don't like a lot of garlic, then you can skip this step. Like I said, we do like garlic, and garlic powder is not super strong, so, but there again, some people don't like a lot of garlic. We do. There we go. I've got every piece of meat flipped over, and I'm going to repeat that process again. I'll cover everything fairly generously. There you go. That part of the step's done. Here again, salt and peppers to your taste. We use these grinder top salt and pepper shakers. I got the salt, and this is sea salt too, by the way, but I got it on the biggest, the most coarse setting is what I got this on. There. We're not huge salt fans, and Worcestershire does have a little bit of salt in it, so we're just going to coat that. Pepper, it's a grinder top also. It's on the finest setting. And then what I'll do with that is I'm going to go pretty generous with it. We like cracked black pepper. So we'll go pretty generous with it on this time. One more time. Take everything, flip them over. I think I got some of that pepper in my nose. Take all the pieces of meat, flip them over one more time. There you go, all flipped over. Wipe my hand off here. And I'm gonna hit it again with pepper. Like I said, we are cracked black pepper fans. I'm gonna hit it one more time. Now to end it all off, I'm gonna take the lid, put the lid back on it. I'm gonna hold the lid down, and I'm gonna give everything a good shaking. Tries to evenly distribute everything. Peel the lid back off. Take my fork, rearrange all the pieces here so they're all kind of laying flat. Kind of want that marinade to touch everything, and really the only liquid part of this marinade is this Worcestershire sauce. And like I said, we're fans of it, so more or less it smells really good. There you go, you can see it. It's all back to an even layer. Put the lid back on it. It's going to go in the refrigerator. Like I said, it is it's 3 o'clock now. We're probably going to eat somewhere around 4 o'clock, so this will go in the refrigerator until then, and we'll pick you back up at the grill. Okay, so here we are. We made it back out to the grill. I'm going to try to maintain about 500, anywhere between 450 and 550 here on my grill. Our meat here, as you can see there, is nice. I did pull that out about 15 minutes ago. I always like to try to get that up somewhere near room temperature prior to doing that. I've already got a few little baked potatoes on here. They should be ready to go. And all I'm going to do here is I'm not going to directly put them over the fire on the grill, but I'm going to go right next to it. Now, it's deer meat, and deer meat does cook somewhat like beef, but it does cook really, really thick. Or quick, I should say, not thick. These are thinner cuts, so everything will happen pretty quick here. Now, my general rule of thumb to this kind of little deer steak here is I'm going to go about 3 minutes, and then I'm going to flip them over. Then I'll go another 3 minutes, and then I'm going to check them. Deer meat is something you really don't want to overdo it, because they'll dry out really quick, because there's very, very little fat on these things. So there you go. You can see them there. I've laid them out. Nothing's really directly over the flame, but just kind of a general simple little way that I was taught years ago is if you take your index finger and your thumb and you touch your finger right here, that's rare. If you go to your middle finger and your thumb, touch that little muscle again right there, that's medium rare, I'm sorry. Ring finger and thumb, medium well, and then pinky to thumb, that's well done. That's kind of like a little general redneck rule of thumb right there. Now, like I said, we're going to go 3 minutes. I'll flip them over. We'll do another 3 minutes, and then we'll use that little thumb there. Now, in my case here, I'm going to go medium rare. So, middle finger there, touch it right there. That's what I want it feeling like. Medium rare is, in my opinion, the best way to do deer. or venison of that sort, you gotta leave a little bit of the juice in there. If you go medium well or well done, in my opinion, you're going to dry it out. That's where it's critical to keep your grill hot. You need a hot, kind of almost, you're not searing hot, but you're going hot. So we'll bring you back here when we're about ready to come off the grill with them. All right, there we go. It's been about 7 minutes, give or take. I'm gonna take a thick piece. I'm gonna stick my internal meat thermometer on here just to check and make sure. I'm looking for about 130 to 140. We have 147 degrees. I'm perfectly happy. Now this is a critical part right here. I'm gonna take it all off. I'm gonna put it in another. This is not the same one I had to marinate in. This is a clean one. I'm gonna put it all back in here. Get every piece off here. I don't want to miss any. Put it all back in this container right here. I'm gonna use my lid from before, and I'm gonna cover this up. And I'm gonna leave that covered up for right around 10 minutes. I'm gonna let that rest. I'm gonna let those juices flow back through. I know my potatoes are done. They've been on there for about 20 minutes. I'm happy with them. Reach down, turn the propane off. Creature of habit, I always turn the propane off on the grill when I'm done with it. That way it doesn't bleed off. I'm just gonna take my taters off and set them up there. I like the skins crispy on my taters because I do eat the skins on them. But there you go, it's pretty simple. So we'll have about 10 minutes in making the marinade. We let that go, I don't know, it's about 45 odd minutes. It marinated in the fridge for about a half hour, then I let it set out for about 15 minutes. So it had about 45 total minutes. I was on the grill there for about 7 minutes. And that was plenty long enough. I probably actually could have come off at about 6 minutes. I usually shoot for that 135 to 150 range. I think that leaves them at like a medium rare, medium temperature. It keeps them from drying out. Now the thinner pieces there, like the end cuts or whatever, they're going to be a little bit dry just because they're a thinner cut. What I go on the grill when I do it is I shoot to try to get the thickest piece of meat to the temperature that I want it. When you put it back in a bowl, whether it be glass, tinfoil, whatever, and you cover it back over, it's going to give that a chance for the juices to soak back in. And there again, by no means am I a master chef. I'm not. I just know what I like to eat, and I know what's evolved over the years. I grew up with 2 sets of grandmothers on both sides, my mother's side and my father's side. My grandmothers could take this gravel right here in the driveway and make it taste like filet mignon, or make a pie that you'd die for. So I tried to learn over the years from them, and I think it's paid off. Everybody here at the house loves every time we make something like this, or we just generally eat good. We don't like to go out and eat. We'd rather eat right here off the grill. As you can see, this grill is well used. It tell me the camera was too hot. I've never had that happen before. Maybe the grill heat, I don't know. But as you can see here, this grill, it's well used. We grill out year round. It doesn't go away in the winter time. We do grill out year round. I'll let it cool out here 4 or 5 hours. I'll cover it up, put it back under the covered port of the lower patio, and we'll go at it. This grill here is about 3 years old, and it is junk, but I refuse to pay $400 for another one that won't last that long, so I'm gonna keep babying this one along. All right, so stick with us here. I'm gonna try to get Max to come out of his little shell and do a taste test for us. I like to get him involved in these cooking videos, because hopefully one day down the road he'll do this for his family. So stay with us and we'll try to get him out to try to test some of it. All right, so I'm going to do the taste test by myself. I can't get anybody out here to come with us, but here you can see I got the baked potatoes. I got them ready to go. There's my piece of meat. You can see in this bowl here, get it down there, you can see all the juice that come out in the corner there. That's what keeping that covered up for 10 minutes gets you. Man, if you don't like that, there's something wrong with you. I don't care who you are. That's good stuff. So if you like the recipe or the little quick showing how I did that, leave me a comment. Let me know how you guys cook it. Cook it, grill it, bake it. I like to see some more recipes from all you guys. Thanks for watching. To the Max Outdoors.